Audio festivalis Banguoja. Projekto partneriai.
Jūsų vardas?
Kauno radio gamykla.
Gimimo data?
1956 metų, birželio mėnesio 19 diena.
Legendinė Žaliakalnio karūna atgimsta. Aš tapsiu unikalią erdvę darbui ir gyvenimui. Erdvė tavo ritmui. Nuo šiol mano vardas Radio City. Kuris situs.
Daugiau radio dokumentikos ir laidų įrašų rasite LRT audiotekoje. Laisvė klausytis.
Myliu save. Nebegėda.lt. Mylėti save begėdiškai malonu.
Projektą finansuoja Lietuvos kultūros taryba ir Jungtinių Amerikos valstijų ambasada Lietuvoje. Organizatorius Nepatogus kinas.
So there was no hardship at all. And we, of course, always thought, oh, this is how it will go on forever. We didn't see them. They were out of our sight. We didn't realize that. We didn't care. And it was a bit difficult to say goodbye to this illusion. But you know, you live in a very different time.
Valleys. Mountains. Water. Islands. Cities. Sorrow. Sorrow. Valleys. Cities.
You know, good access still I have long time to go, you know?
Mountains. Islands. Water. They built by rivers, and at night the water, running past windows, comforted their sorrow. Each in his little bed conceived of islands, where every day was dancing in the valleys. And all the green trees blossomed on the mountains, where love was innocent, being far from cities.
We always went back.
Each in his little bed conceived of islands.
We always went back for the holidays to the house in the countryside,
where every day was dancing in the valleys.
It never rained on my birthday.
And all the green trees blossomed on the mountains.
Always sunshine on my birthday.
Where love was innocent, being far from cities.
This house is in the countryside, in this little village, not even a shop.
Each in his little bed conceived of islands.
I mean, there's a river in front of the door,
where every day was dancing in the valleys.
Clapping and singing.
And all the green trees blossomed on the mountains.
Paradise, sun, the ocean.
Where love was innocent,
like really warm.
being far from cities.
You can't get rid of it. It's still like your country, and you're like, especially when you're very happy somewhere else, and you would never have one model framework
any kind of work I can do it.
But at the same time, it's something that, you know, it's as though maybe you moved to Berlin and then couldn't go back to England.
And then I came back.
But dawn came back. And they were still in cities.
It's hard to be like in country which is not your homeland and you can't speak the language and you be alone when you don't have a lot of friends. I actually know a lot of people, but that's not really I have friends. So I know people, but I don't have really friends here, that's it. Yeah, you have to wait.
Some people are still waiting there. There's a line for getting numbers. this number getting took sometimes days, sometimes weeks. So people were camping outside to be the first in the queue, just to get the number. With this number, you had to wait until this number to be called. And this is a totally random process. At the beginning, I mean, they've got these boards where numbers blink up. Or someone was just shouting it through a megaphone.
The world is changing completely.
Hearing of harvests rotting in the valleys. Seeing at end of street the barren mountains.
You don't feel anything of it.
Round corners coming suddenly on water.
They threw the last things they had out of the boat.
Knowing them shipwrecked, who were launched for islands.
The number could be called any day.
We honour founders of these starving cities, whose honour is the image of our sorrow.
People don't leave just for fun.
Which cannot see its likeness in their sorrow.
People don't cross the Mediterranean if they don't have a reason for it.
That brought them desperate to the brink of valleys.
Bring with me my book, some clothes.
Dreaming of evening walks through learned cities.
My voice.
They reined their violent horses on the mountains.
My families, I speak with them just like on the internet, but
those fields, like ships to castaways on islands.
Mostly I don't speak with him too much because when I speak with him, I miss them.
Visions of green to them who craved for water.
She came on her own. She was in a room with 20 other people.
They built by rivers and at night the water.
She was scared most of the time to go to bed.
Running past windows comforted their sorrow.
The airport where they have like 600 people in one huge hall for airplanes.
Each in his little bed conceived of islands. Being far from cities.
Maybe you'd be really happy to be here. And I always wonder about it. I mean, as a US citizen, would be almost impossible to move your life back to a child of parents.
Yeah, I'm registered as a
Damascus, from homes to Idlib, and from Idlib to Deir Zor, Raqqa, Aleppo, Daraa, and I went to thousands of those stations in a lot of area, I'm actually not a politics man, So I'm the guys who was just searching for fun, dancing, go out.
Without this music, this time would have been much harder.
It's an open mountain stream.
It's always about the consequences of this flying high, falling deep.
From a place of relief and release.
We are in prison by Libyans, and then from there we break the prison and then we run.
My dad was very happy to move to Italy, to move for my mom and then me and my sister.
Then we fled at the riverside and then we show ourselves in Lampedusa,
But there was always a sense of...
maybe it's the sea, maybe it's being in constant motion on a bicycle, maybe it's the fresh air.
I'm out of Syria, but Syria is not out of me, so Syria is still inside me.
At the end,
all of a sudden I'll have these flashes.
You only voice out your problems.
I mean, you wouldn't have wanted it in any other way.
There's no solution for your problems.
But there always still was this underlying thing that...
Oh, right, this is what I've been doing for the last 5 years.
In this big city, far away from home.
The next minute, they will not make any effort for you.
The center of your life becomes a different place, and then...
You can do it. Maybe you don't want to do it, but you can do it.
I felt quite lonesome, and I had no place to stay. I had some friends.
I think that Europe was... Everything was available here,
He made me key and said, you can come whenever you want.
But it's not right.
In a way, that's kind of what we're all looking for, right? The ability to sort of step back from our own life, at least temporarily.
They are all human beings. They will understand. They will understand. They are all human beings.
We could go back to Moralinis, but it was clear that.
But I mean, the period, that's what I think of in general.
You really live in this country, especially like in the 90s.
War is about to help each other,
It allows to such a great extent.
But dawn came back, and they were still in cities.
We didn't think about all the others who had to pay for this way of life.
No marvelous creature rose up from the water.
All these others who...
There was still gold and silver in the mountains.
Minerals, who have to work in agriculture, for little money.
But hunger was a more immediate sorrow.
We didn't realize that. We didn't care.
Although to moping villagers and valleys,
but you know, you live in a very different time.
Some waving pilgrims were describing islands. The gods, they promised, visit us from islands, are stalking head up, lovely through our cities. Now is the time to leave your wretched valleys and sail with them across the lime green water. Sitting at their white sides, forget your sorrow. The shadow cast across your lives by mountains. So many doubtful perished in the mountains, climbing up crags to get a view of islands. So many fearful took with them their sorrow, which stayed them when they reached unhappy cities.
And I'm so happy here in Berlin, in my new home, in my new life.
So many careless dived and drowned in water. So many wretched would not leave their valleys. It is our sorrow. Shall it melt? Our water would gush, flush, green these mountains and these valleys. And we rebuild our cities, not dream of islands. And we rebuild our cities, not dream of islands. And we rebuild our cities, not dream of islands.
How can it be that you live like that and others live like that?
The number could be called any day.
And you now can all see it easily everywhere.
Sometimes it just took a few days, sometimes it would take weeks.
It's difficult to stand these contradictions and to live with these contradictions.
Impossible sometimes to understand.
To stand all these contradictions is not easy at all.
It's better to keep houses empty.
The question,
it makes more money.
How much space you're entitled to use in your life.
There's tents now.
It's very interesting.
They go inside there, they get a little ribbon.
How can we start again?
Different colors depending on where they're from and where they are in the process of registering.
It's an open mountain stream.
And we rebuild our cities.
How can we start again?
Cities. Not dream of islands.
But you know, you live in a very different time.
Islands. Cities.